Hi all, my name is Samail Ali and welcome to my channel DevOps with Samail. So as on previous video I explained, like I'll be covering Linux operating system, then AWS services, and then DevOps tools. Why I choose like this? Because our ultimate goal is to learn DevOps. That's what I have given the name as a DevOps with Samail. So why I choose Linux first? Because if you want to become a good DevOps engineer, then you should learn first Linux. At least 20 to 30% you should learn Linux. Then maybe another 30% AWS services, then another 40% DevOps tools. So like this, you should have understanding to all the tools and services of Linux, AWS, and DevOps. So that's what I have chosen Linux first. So we'll go through Linux videos like it is. It can be short videos or it can be long videos also sometimes, because it depends on the how hands-on I'll be doing or how much content I'll be providing to you guys. So, and in this video I'll be more focusing only theory, because we should know first what is Linux, what is the purpose of Linux, and how the Linux is working. So these things I'll be covering through this particular PPT only, and then we'll move forward with hands-on and some other commands and lot of stuffs are there. So it will take some time, but slowly we'll cover everything. So without wasting time, let's get started. So this is introduction to Linux. So first only I gave a sub name. It is called a powerful open source operating system. It means power. It has the power to do lot of stuffs. So, and it is also operating system. So open source operating system means it is available on the internet. Anyone can download and they can use it. That is the reason this is called open source operating system. So here the good details has been given. It is telling it is an open source and Unix like operating system. So Unix like in the sense the Linux operating system came from the Unix only. It copied from Unix and modified. It is not exactly copied. It is taken the concept of Unix and it created by own. Who created this Linux operating system? Linus Torvalds on 1991 as a hobby project. In the sense, he want to run some application on his own, so that's what he tried to create an operating system, so that on top of that operating system he can run that particular application. But later it is like more famous on server related, so that he also like himself not believe like this much popular it will be having in the future. Okay, let's go to next slide. So on next slide it is like purpose. What is the advantage of Linux operating system? So Linux, as I'm telling again and again, operating system, it is like same kind of Windows server, Windows operating system. So Windows, what we need to buy the license, but on Linux we don't need to buy the license. It is already in open source, so anyone can download and they can use, and free of cost only. You don't need to pay to have the Linux operating system. Okay, the next is kernel. Linux kernel is the core component of operating system, responsible for managing system resources, communication between hardware and software, and providing essential services. So it is free of cost, as I explained now only, and this openness fosters collaboration and vibrant community of developers and contribution. Here, since this is open source, so lot of people are available on the open source. They can download the image, Linux operating system image. They can modify with their N and on, and they can push it to open source again, so that some other member can use it. Also, it is like if you need help, some kind of help all the communities are available on the open source. So we just posted your error. So whoever knows, they will just give you the out like suggestion what to do, what not to do. And kernel is like which is managing the resources. Here resources in the sense CPU, memory, any hardware resources who is managing the kernel, the managed by kernel. So it means like suppose you are the user, okay, as a user you knows only like human readable language, like what we are talking, maybe Hindi, English or something, but your hardware doesn't know Hindi or English. Hardware only knows 0101. Maybe you have learnt in your college days. So 0101, lot of it will be there. So who is converting to 0101 to hardware to process? That kernel is doing the same thing. So what kernel? Kernel is taking input from the human and it is just decoding it and it is sending to resources, and again it is taking from the resources as a like hardware CPU's language and it is converting to human language, and it is showing you like any process I want to run. So any command if I am running, who is doing all those things? That is done by kernel. The another feature is there, multi-user and multitasking. What it is telling, Linux supports multiple users concurrently, allowing different users to run applications and perform tasks simultaneously. Here itself you will understand multi-user and multitasking. It means multi-user, multiple user can log in at a time and they can do multiple tasks at a time. It is not like I am the user, only I'll execute only one command at a time. No, I can run many commands at a time simultaneously. That is the reason it has good feature that multiple user can do multiple tasking, so that our application or something like if you want to do some host some application, you can do and easily you can manage it, because multi-user multitasking, not only one user can log in at a time, multiple users can log in at a time. The next advantage is what? Stability and reliability. So Linux is known for its stability and reliability. It's often used in server environments and critical systems where uptime and performance are essential. It means like it is not like multi-user multitasking. It has the strong capability to hold some application, even though if you give some less resources also, it will give a good performance, because it will not have much libraries available. In Windows, like it will be somewhat heavy because of lot of libraries and GUI, but in Linux GUI is also there, but that is optional. You can use it or you cannot also use it. That I can explain in the future videos. Okay. Security. Another advantage is security. Linux is designed with security in mind. It includes features such as user account controls, file permissions, a robust set of security tools and practicals. So we can secure our environment, Linux and operating system, by giving some permissions. So here it is telling user account controls, file permission we can give. Okay. Portability. Linux has been ported to a wide range of hardware platforms, making it a versatile choice for various devices. So Linux, it is not like Linux will be running on particular hardware. No, you can give any hardware, just install it. It will be compatible to any hardware. But for different hardware, maybe some different image you need to select, but it is fine. You can install any of the hardware. Let me go to next slide. What is telling community collaboration? So as I explained earlier only, since this is open source, so a lot of developers will be available on the internet itself. You just post your error to the internet, they will try to help you. And next advantage is distributions. So Linux has a lot of distributions, but like they have taken from the one source code only, then they are just downloading and modifying something and they are giving their own name. So that is like Ubuntu also, they taken from the main thing Unix like operating system only, but they have modified and they have added some of their features, and they have given the new name. So that is called like Ubuntu, Fedora, Debian, CentOS. So different name came into picture. So why it is open source in nature? Access to source code, anyone can go to internet, they can access it, because this is open source. Freedom to use, modify, distribute, I explained earlier only. Community collaboration also I explained earlier. So now coming to architecture of Linux. So this is very much important. You should understand this architecture, how it is being working. So it is like, first suppose my laptop is there. So first laptop hardware will be there. It is like HP hardware, maybe Lenovo hardware, maybe Dell hardware, any hardware you take it. So it is the hardware section. Suppose hardware in the sense resources, where your CPU, memory, all will be available. So on top of operating system, that is called kernel. So you, in sometimes people are calling kernel as operating system. Instead of operating system, we can say it is a kernel, because kernel is a core component of the operating system, Linux operating system. And next is what? Shell. Shell is like who is interpreting human, like where we will be writing our code on shell itself. Then what shell will do? Shell will talk to kernel, give our input to kernel. Then kernel will decode it and send it to hardware to process something. Then again it will go with hardware, because I already sent my command, so hardware will check and process it, then it will give it to kernel, and kernel will give it to shell, so that we will get some output of the command. So whenever I'll do the practical steps, I'll let you know how it is being working. So as of now, understand this clearly, that first layer would be a hardware, then on top of that kernel or will be installed software like operating system. Then once operating system installed, it has one like shell. On top of shell, I can install my application, any application. Suppose you can say if you want to install HTTPD, you can install HTTP on top of this only. But everything will be installing in Linux through shell only. So the shell will have different shell, one shell, K shell, so bash shell. So a lot of shells will be there. That will I explain in future classes. As of now, understand this Linux architecture. If you don't understand, you go through again and again and try to understand it, or else just you can comment it, so that I can check and I can clear your doubt, or else if need I can give you some reference video or some reference documents, so that you will understand easily. Now Linux use cases. See, we understand what is operating system, what is Linux operating system, but where we are exactly using the Linux operating system. So server operating system, this is now famous. Everyone is using this as a server operating system. So the popular now it is RHEL and Ubuntu and CentOS. But if you want to use Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and if you want to support, that time you need to pay it. It is not like free of, it is free of cost. You can download, you can use it, but in some cases if you want to some support, that time you need to buy license from RHEL. Web hosting, I can install my application and it will be running on top of operating system. Cloud computing, so Linux is the foundation for numerous cloud platforms including AWS, Google, Microsoft Azure. So it means like almost everywhere Linux is being using. So now you can understand like how the Linux operating system is, why they have called this what to say, like superpower Linux has. And development environment also, in development environment also Linux is vastly using. there are some other use cases also. You can say containers and orchestration, and this is also nowadays famous. We are using Docker Kubernetes to deploy our application, so that is also done by Linux only. That's what I am starting with Linux first, then we'll go with different DevOps tools also. In network also we are using security and penetration testing also. We are using educational and research also. Even NASA also is using operating system for their some of use cases. There are some file or printer servers, embedded system, desktop operating system. So lot of advantages are there. That's why Linux is so powerful. I think for this video, that's enough for today. I'll be explaining in future classes as well, and we'll go with hands-on one by one. So I think that's it for today. And if you want to know more, you can comment it. Also, please don't forget to subscribe it, so that whenever in future if I am posting any video, so that you will get the notification and you can go through the video. I think that's it for today. Thank you.